After chasing my kid around all day, I need my rest. Him? Can't catch me. When he needs sleep support, Zardy's children sleep with melatonin gummies. Give him a safe, effective, and drug-free way to fall asleep faster. So we're both ready for the day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. To shop for Zardy's children's sleep gummies, just say Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart. Perfecting your crocos? That's a challenge. But finding the right multivitamin? That's easy. Garden of Life Organic Women's Once Daily Multivitamin is made from over 30 certified organic fruits, vegetables, all in one convenient tablet. Packed with nutrients sourced from real whole foods with no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives. Breathe in and start your wellness journey today with Garden of Life.
Hey, Miss Carla. I'm just looking in my healing journal. My back is itching me so bad. My skin is so dry from the summertime. Oh. All right, let me get into this part two of tonight's topic. I believe we stopped at impulsive reactions. And this is, remember, spit, the incident that happened with Jalen and Dak 2 games ago. They people, those cow people, the Cowboys. But let's do our midweek check-in. September is Suicide Awareness Month. Phone's been pretty heavy Not as much as suicide, just mental health. Some crises. People will just want information, which is awesome. Wanting to help people. Information about 302s and how can they help their families. Some people are becoming frustrated because the 302 can be overturned and become a 201. And people are not understanding how that happens. And I might explain that a little bit. So let's just do our midweek check-in. If I was to say anything today about me, I'm white at. I am feeling minimum today, but also optimistic and uplifting. I have a treat coming to me tomorrow. And I can say kind of sad. So that's 3 of them. Minimum, orange, a little black. Can everybody see that? My 3. I'm not angry, a little sad. You can see that. Mixed emotions, really. And that looks truly mixed emotions. Optimistic and uplifting. A little sadness. Mixed emotions. My daughter lost her dad. We're going to his homecoming tomorrow. His service tomorrow. We don't know if she's doing well. We don't know how to gauge her right now. So we're just stuck there to see what's going on with her. We'll see tomorrow as the service goes on. But I'm her mother. My daughter's 29 years old. She's not a small little girl. She's a grown woman. She has brothers and sisters. They're older now too as well. But it's kind of hard when you have a loved one that passes away. So I'm just trying to see if we can support her as best we can tomorrow. And his mom and his sisters as well. So if you're doing great, give me some red hearts. Miss Carla, you have those great hearts up there. That's excellent this evening. If you're going great, give me some red hearts. Some red hearts if you're doing great this evening. If you are doing okay, this is not purple, this is blue. This is not purple, this is blue. Give me some blue hearts if you're doing okay, if you're feeling okay. This is purple. If you're having a hard time, if you wouldn't mind if someone to reach out to you, give me some purple hearts. If you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if someone was to reach out to you, give me those purple hearts. If you're struggling, if things are tough and you're struggling, give me some of those green hearts. Thank you, Miss Carla. I will let Wasima know. Things are tough and you're struggling, give me some of those green hearts. Right now, she just wants to be left alone. She's in a really peaceful place right now. You know, she's always been in a peaceful place. She's in a cocoon, as I would call it. If you're in a really dark place, give me the emoji with the broken heart. If you're in a really dark place, I will reach out to you. I'll give you some resources. If you're in a dark place, give me the emoji with the broken heart. If you're having some harmony and balance in your life, give me the emoji with the pink heart, the emoji with the pink heart. Harmony and balance in your life, emoji with the pink heart. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, that's that light blue emoji. Relaxed and friendly, the light blue emoji. And if you're doing the double thing with Miss Carla, she's cool, suffer straight, and that humbleness, cool, suffer straight, and that humbleness. She shot up like 6 great emoji hearts. Cool, suffer straight, and that humbleness. I feel that humbleness. It's an awesome thing to be humble, right? Mixed emotions. Mixed emotions, minimalism. Give me those white hearts. Mixed emotions and some minimalism. Give me those white hearts. Feeling optimistic and uplifting. Give me those orange hearts. Optimistic and uplifting. Give me those orange hearts. Yellow hearts. Yellow hearts. Seen something on TV. They was trying to put in the Toy Hall of Fame. Tickle Me Elmo. What else did they have? Connect Four in there. The Furby. And something else. I was like, damn, am I that old that they put them in the Hall of Fame already? I'm that old. Tickle Me Elmo and Furby. Okay, here we go, guys. If you're having this kind of day, throw some brown hearts up there. If you're having this kind of day, which is okay, throw some brown hearts up there. This kind of day, brown hearts. Okay. If you are feeling frustrated, our new friend here, he's been our new friend for about almost a month. Frustrated, our new friend, the flaming heart. Frustrated, our new friend, the flaming heart. Last but not least here, any anger or sadness, give us the black heart. Any anger or sadness, give us the black heart. And if you can notice, my voice came back together. Someone asked me today, was I from New York? No. Someone asked me today, was I from a different country? No. My voice is coming back. It's coming back. I had a little respiratory problem over the weekend. I think it started on Friday or Thursday, whatever day it was. And by the time Sunday, I was like, so I had to work on some things, juicing some things and crunching on some garlic and some paprika and cayenne pepper and some stuff. And boy, oh boy, I was in here with spices and stuff. Get myself back together because this is how I get paid. I talk a lot. So good evening, everyone. Good evening. Last week's topic, we were talking about impulsive reactions, impulsive actions, and I took the cue from Jalen. I have to make sure I get my man's name right. Jalen Carter, the Eagle defensive tackle. The incident that happened with him and Dak Prescott on their encounter when they played us on I believe that was Sunday's game. What happened between them two people and the impulsive thing that happened that Jalen said, Jalen did. And I call it spit. And I think we left off with impulsive reactions. I'm not going to go over that incident because I don't want to hold Jalen for that. He did apologize, so he was accountable for his actions, and he did say that he doesn't know why he did it, but he did apologize for it. He was fined for it. They took him out of the game immediately, and that's that. But I just want to talk about the impulsive reactions and impulsive behaviors, get into some more information about it, and try to get some techniques to you guys, and we'll move on about the spit urine thing. Tonight, impulsive reactions. Again, this concept was the incident that happened. Jalen spit on Dak. And once everything was taken out of context a little bit, but when the investigation was done further, there was some type of conversation of words spoken back and forth between Jalen and Dak, and he asked him, "Did you spit at me?" And again, Dak's response was, he gave him a nod, and he said, "I spit a lot," allegedly, right? The impulsive reaction was two primary meanings. A psychological one referring to a sudden, unthinking action without consideration of the consequences, basically, was what happened with Jalen, or a technical impulsive response. And basically what that is in layman terms is systems reaction to a momentary input that characterizes its behavior. Impulsive behaviors is a rash decision or explosive anger, while in technology it uses to understand how a system behaves in the mind. Inappropriate or reckless without any regard to the consequences. But basically what happened. It happened so quickly. Remember, this happened 6 seconds into the game. Remember, I kept saying that 6 seconds, 6 seconds. What can happen in 6 seconds? Right? This happened 6 seconds. Saying the first thing that comes to your mind, even if it's an unkind thing. And sometimes that's what happened with men, people. When your woman or your wife or your significant other says, do I look fat in this? Does this look all right on me? That quickly is an argument. Making a rash decision without thinking it through. Experiencing sudden, uncontrollable emotional outbreaks or outbursts. In this instance, the spit, Examples of impulsive behaviors: overspending, substance misuse, reckless driving, frequent arguing, unplanned travel, self-harm, binge eating, and saying things without thinking is the number one thing. You say things before you speak, before you think. Performing things on a whim without considering their potential negative consequences, often driven by immediate gratification or strong emotions. The thing is the strong emotions that drives these things. That's the and this is talking about impulsive reactions. You react. Now let's get into the impulsive behaviors. Impulsive behaviors is actions taken without careful thought or consideration of consequences. Acting without thinking or without planning or weighing potential risk. Difficulty waiting or an inability to delay gratification or wait for appropriate opportunities. Seeking immediate gratification, acting on desire or urges. Lack of remorse or showing little or no regret after engaging in an impulsive actions. So this has to do with your brain chemistries, the neurotransmitters, the levels of, and it can be certain genes that increase the risk, and biologically in families. It can also be environmental factors. Pay attention to this part. So you can have the brain chemistry, the neurotransmitter levels in your brain. Certain genetics can cause risk of impulsive behaviors, but it can also be environmental factors. It can be exposure to stressful or chaotic environments. The way you parent, parenting matters. So it can be arguments, mom and dad, mom and significant other and husband, arguments, drinking and smoking marijuana, domestic violence, loud noises. You can have men of different people coming in and out of your home, having different women coming in and out of your home, having no rules in the house, lack of respect, having no boundaries in the home, having the children take care of themselves. Those things matter because remember, we're talking about impulsive behaviors. So your kids are growing up in a good, sturdy environment. Trust me, people, kids want rules. They want rules. They need rules. Today in 2025, there's a lot of lawlessness going around. you see kids being, or these children being very disrespectful to anybody. They don't care. They will cuss and fuss the elderly. They will cuss and fuss their own parents. I had someone call, was that today or yesterday? I believe it was yesterday. Someone called the line saying a 22. When they called, they said that the kid kicked their mother in the ribs. They said the child. I'm like, okay, how old is the child? Oh, they're 22 years old. That's not a child. That's not a child. That's someone's child, but 22 is not a child. That's someone's child. 22-year-old. I mean, I've told my daughter when you're still a child until you turn 25, because you haven't had a lot of life experiences, right? Even though you moved out of the house and you pay your own bills, but until you get those life experiences. And she understood that until she turned 25. She's like, yeah, mom, who life is life right now? I'm 25. I had some experiences. I got paid this car note. My insurance was still high until I turned 25. Yes, now you understand what I'm saying. But when you call me and you're saying that this child just kicked their mom in the ribs, I'm like, how old is the child? Oh, they're 22. Because if they get arrested for assault, they're not going to put a 22-year-old child. They're putting an adult on that charge. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? It's not a child. And then there's also mental health conditions for impulsive behavior. Certain mental health conditions can have a factor and play a role in it. So impulsivity is a common symptom of conditions like attention deficit. We already know about hyperactivity disorder, borderline personality disorder, substance use disorder, and some examples of impulsive behavior can be spending sprees, shopping too much, spending money, compulsively just shopping too much. And I can say I raised my hand on that one. Guilty thing pleasure for me is buying shoes. I love shoes. I love shoes. And when I was younger, I would buy not just me shoes, everyone in the house shoes. So my thing was, if I buy a shoe for me, I'm gonna buy a shoe for you. If I buy 2 shoes for me, I'm gonna buy 2 shoes for you. And I would leave the store spending over $500 in a day just buying shoes. And it got so bad that I would hide shoes in the trunk. I would hide shoes. I was buying so many shoes. My bestie not on here. I had shoes stacked up everywhere. When I got to a certain point where my first husband, he switched jobs and we couldn't buy shoes the way we supposed to, I still was buying shoes, and that became a big problem because the shoes were too expensive for me to be buying. And so spending spree is a very impulsive behavior. Reckless driving. I see that a lot on IG. People will show how they speed on a highway. It's going from 25 to almost 125. So reckless driving, speeding. Substance use is an impulsive behavior. Aggressive outbursts. Risk-taking behaviors like gambling or having unprotected sex. Now, with unprotected sex, remember we had an all-time high when the STI like AIDS was out. We had an all-time high with that. We had an all-time high, especially in Philadelphia. No one wants to say this, but chlamydia was high in Philadelphia. When herpes was high in Philadelphia, these STIs are still out there. So, first of all, I would want to say that you're not supposed to be having sex until marriage. Hello, hallelujah. But risk-taking behaviors like having unprotected sex, do know that AIDS is still at an all-time high. There is no cure for AIDS. There is medication for it. There is no cure for herpes. You can have a flare-up. But please know that these STIs still exist. Just a warning to you. And we did everybody, I think, in the country probably had an all-time high for bed bugs. You couldn't trust sitting anywhere. You couldn't go to a hotel without taking your Lysol on your own sheets and not wanting to lay in anybody's bed for an awfully long time. Matter of fact, you didn't even want to get on SEPTA. You didn't want to go over nobody's house and sit down when bed bugs was at an all-time high. Hallelujah. So make sure you're protecting yourself. Make sure you have one partner and make sure you're married, because those are risky behaviors and impulsive behaviors. And then this is one that I said, oh my goodness. Your little kids have impulsive behaviors, interrupting others. I like that concept back in the day when your mom said, speak when you're spoken to. And don't interrupt me when I'm talking because I'm an adult. You're not supposed to be in adult conversations. You got these kids all up in our business. And they supposed to be over there playing jump rope and bouncing a ball or watching cartoons. You got these kids in adult conversations and they interrupting others. Impulsive behaviors. You got the kids listening to adult conversations and they interrupting others. We need to go back to the old school. And nothing was wrong with the old school. Only thing I say wrong with the old school is when you had to go get the switch off the tree. You want to beat me? I'm not getting my own death trap. I'll stand in the corner and hold the books out like this, put one foot up, try to manage and hold my balance for an hour. I even get the little thick belts you clap together. I do that, get the thick little belts that you clap together. But I'm not getting the switch off the tray. My mom says you're going to fear me. Fear me. Because if I go home on my mama and I know I did something wrong, it's going to be a problem. Let's go back to some of them old school things. Now, treatment depends on the underlying cause of the impulsive reactions and then the impulsive behaviors. It depends. Get this, guys. Stress. You say, what, Kimble? Stress. Now, can we say that Jalen was stressed out because it was only 6 minutes into the game? We don't know. We just know that we don't like them boys, right? We was on, it's our first game of the season. We don't like them boys. And remember, we said that the Eagles have a running history with them boys. But we offer them Cowboys. Stress, high levels of stress from major life changes can impair rational thinking and lead to impulsive decisions. Now think about this. We as a society, just think. And before COVID, after COVID. I can think of a few before COVID. A few. And I can probably think of some after COVID. High levels of stress. Trauma and abuse, a history of trauma, abuse, or neglect can be a significant risk factor for developing impulse control issues. Substance abuse, addiction, and chronic alcohol or drug use can impair a person's ability to manage impulses. Medications, certain medications, particularly dopamine, can, you know, be a factor. And then I'm talking about treatments now. Treatments. CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, right? It's a big treatment plan or big treatment technique that therapists use. But I want to go back to the stress. Stress messes up your physical. And remember, I always say our body is a system. Your physical, your mental, and your spiritual. Once your physical starts to dwindle down, if you're not taking care of your physical health, your mental is going to fall right with it. Yeah, yeah. And once your mental starts to decline, your spiritual declines. If you're having any physical issues, diabetes, maybe you're worrying a lot physically, and so that's anxiety. Now it's your mental. Your doctor's telling you to take some time off work, and maybe you don't have time to take off, and now the anxiety is getting higher, and you probably not getting sleep at home, and now you're stressing out. And if you're not getting sleep at home, now you're being late to work, and now you're stressing out even more because now your boss is on top of you, and now you're, being late to church maybe, or not coming home half all the time, and now you're tired. What's that? Carla said, recently an old friend that I was commenting with one night recently said, come to the door. Mind you, it was the evening. Mom was there, husband was, and I felt so excited to see them. Conversation started. I'm sorry, Miss Carla, I'm trying to read it. Conversation started, feelings flared, and conversation ended with me meeting up and seeing another soon. I was so prepared. I want to see that. Maybe if I get to, let me see, Miss Carla, I can't see that. God told me to be still and let His will be done. Glory to God for awareness. Miss Carla, I can't see that. It's all the way up there. I want to see it though. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I felt so excited. Conversation started. Feelings flaring. And seeing one another. So I was prepared. Oh, it was an impulsive reaction. The day came and all plans were dismissed. I told my feeling. I got something for that. I got an acronym for that, Miss Carla. And it's a thing with impulsive reactions that, and that's what I'm saying. These treatment theories that they have here, it's a thing that we have to learn daily. I mean, daily. It's something that we have to keep in mind. It's like with the spit. It happened. Like he couldn't control it. 6 seconds just happened. It's just something that happens. It's something that we have to learn each and every time it happens. It's a one-time thing. That happened one time. Yes, it's a one-time reaction. Now, if the same reaction keeps happening, that becomes, it's not a behavior. It's something that you keep doing. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's not a reaction. Now it's a habit. It becomes a habit. Is what I'm saying. A reaction and a habit is something different. So CBT focuses on identifying and changing the thought or the behavior that contributes to the impulsive action. It becomes a problem. She said a problem. I ain't want to say that. It becomes a habit. So it teaches you coping mechanisms, stopping and thinking before acting, basically. Problem solving and developing alternative, healthier responses to impulsive is what CBT does for impulsive reactions, impulsive behaviors. It can be hard for people for CBT, for me, because when I go from 0 to 1,000, sometimes very quickly, depending on the trigger. Now, I still call them my babies. And y'all, my babies is in their third. One is 30 something, the other one's 29, and the other one just turned 27. They still my babies. If you say something to threaten them, Mama Lion is jumping. Period. They can defend themselves. I adjusted my glasses so I can make sure I'm looking at y'all correctly. If you say something to threaten them, Mama Lion's jumping. That's the only warning you get. And I don't got bail money, but I'm pouncing. BAT, which is behavior activation therapy, encourages individuals to engage in an enjoyable activity that compete with impulsive behaviors. I like that one. If I'm doing something that I like, then impulsive reaction that 6 seconds won't even get to me because I'm doing something I enjoy. That the thought, it slips my mind. Finding and pursuing rewarding experiences that provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment. BAT, behavior activation therapy. And then you have those things like medication that regulate the neurotransmitters that contribute to the impulsivity. Some people, again, I'm not against medication. I'm not for medication. It just depends on your. Miss Carter said her trigger for her was feeling needed and the feeling the desire. Everybody have those different triggers. Mine is my kids. The other one is distance. If it ain't arm length, once I feel as though you near my elbow, it's a problem because then I can feel your breath on my face. And some people breath don't smell well. So if you're near my elbow, I can feel your breath on my face. And just those two. Those two. Oh, well, it'll be number 3 because last week I said, remember, if you spit on me, I'm not going to do what he did and spit back on you. It's going to be death. And then, so you have CBT. There's other treatments, guys. These are the 3 that I that they resonated to me. Okay. I'm going to, and there's another one. I'm sorry. Cognitive behavior therapy focuses on identifying and changing the thought and the behavior that contributes to the impulsive actions. Behavior activation therapy encourages individuals to engage in enjoyable activities that compete with the impulsive behaviors. Medication regulates the neurotransmitters that contribute to the impulsivity. Lifestyle modifications avoid triggers. And then there's mindfulness. I like mindfulness, but people have to give mindfulness time. And you're learning mindfulness. I have learned mindfulness. I think it takes time for people to learn mindfulness. You have to give it time. You have to understand what it is. But mindfulness is awesome. There's something called the 3-3-3 rule, and this works with anxiety. This can also work with anger. For anxiety, it helps ground you in the present moment by engaging your senses to practice. So you're supposed to identify 3 things you can see. 3 things that that's the sounds you can hear, and 3 things 3 things sounds you can hear, and move 3 body parts. Move sounds you can hear, and it says, and move 3 parts of your body. So 3 things you can see, 3 sounds you can hear, and move 3 parts of your body. This grounding exercise shifts your focus from anxious thoughts to immediate surroundings, helping you reduce anxiety and promote a sense of calm. This is also true with breathing exercises, because your heart is beating fast. Your body feels like it wants to get up and move. So when people call me on the line and they say I think I'm having a panic attack, and I could say, okay, well, what are you doing right now? And sometimes people say, I'm walking in my house, I'm pacing in my house, and I say, okay, well, continue to pace, because if that's helping you while you're on the phone pacing, or I say, are you sitting down, or are you standing? And some people say they're sitting down. I say, okay, do you feel better sitting or standing? And some people say they feel better sitting. I say, okay, if you're sitting, put your hands in your lap, and I'll ask them if they want to do breathing exercises. And they're like, well, I already tried it. Well, how many times have you tried it? Because sometimes people do the breathing exercise and they're like, it's not working. Well, you haven't tried it long enough. You're still anxious. You haven't tried it long enough. You have to try it until it actually starts to work. It actually calms your breathing down. Your heart's, at a calm state. Your heart's pumping fast. It's not at a calm state. And that's what it says. It shifts your focus from anxious thoughts to immediate surrounding, helping to reduce anxiety and promoting a sense of calm. Right? And it has some things here. The 3 R's is recognizing, releasing, and returning You can reduce stress and anxiety. Mindfulness allows you to step out of the whirlwind of thoughts and worries, producing relief from stress. There's that word again, guys, stress and anxiety. Then there's 4 P's: presence, pacing, prioritizing, and pivoting. Presence is being in the moment, realizing that things in life are trajectory, or they're not permanent. Okay? They're not permanent, meaning if you're having an anxiety attack, whatever that thing is that's worrying you, that you're so anxious about, it's not going to last. And I know when we in that moment, it feels like gloom and doom. Oh my God, some people feel like they're going to faint. So that's why I ask people, are they sitting down or are they lying down? However you feel comfortable in that moment. So one guy was saying, well, I normally, I'm on my bike. Well, get on your bike, guy. Get on your exercise bike. While you're on the phone with me, if that makes you comfortable, get on your bike. One lady was like, I walk up and down the steps. Walk up and down your steps while you're on the phone with me. And it's good, because back in the day, you would have to walk up and down the steps holding the phone. Now you have the earbuds, or you have the cell phone that you can put, anywhere in your pocket or whatever, and you can walk up and down the steps. You can get on your bike and exercise. And I usually tell people, when you're feeling anxious, your mind has to catch up with your body. Your mind is racing, and your body wants to catch up with your body. Your mind wants to catch up. So being present in the moment, realizing that things in life are trajectory, meaning it's not permanent. So the panic attack is not going to last. We have to tell it to ourselves. Sometimes we have to say, we're safe. We're safe. You're safe right now. The thoughts of gloom and, the thoughts of whatever that fear is, whatever the feeling is, you have to tell yourself you're safe right now in that thing. Being present to people when communicating with them, and developing open awareness to appreciate what life provides. So if you're with a person and something's going on between that relationship of communicating, being open to that person. If that person is the problem, if you're able to communicate that, if you are the problem, are you open enough to communicate that? I know I'm the problem. And this is what we need to do a lot now. If you're stressing that person out, I know I'm the problem. Maybe I need to leave while you gather yourself. Remember, the first word that I typed up on the screen was accountability, right? If you're the problem, if you and your spouse, your partner, whomever, if you know you're the problem, if you know you started that argument and you're stressing your person out, listen, I'm a problem. I started this argument. I don't want to cause you any more stress. Maybe right now we need to table this thing. I need to step out because I'm stressed too. We're not handling this thing together. Being present in the moment. We're not handling this right now. Let's table it. Because if you guys are arguing and it's shouting, going back and forth, remember, I said this thing about parenting, being the kids are listening, you both are shouting back and forth. No one's really listening. The kids are absorbing everything, all the cussing and fussing. Okay, Mr. Shoot. All the cussing and fussing. The kids absorbing all of that language. You guys are not listening to anything. Somebody has to wave the flag. These tools have to be utilized and used. So for kids, ABC mindfulness for kids. They have here emotional regulation helps children recognize and express emotions by connecting them to everyday situation and feelings. How can we have our kids recognize and express emotions by connecting them to everyday situations and feelings when we can't recognize ourselves and they're mirroring what we do? But this can be done. Use proper language, communicate with your children. Cognitive growth, they foster self-awareness, empathy, and the ability to identify and express emotions. Remember, how do we express those things? I feel, I wish, I think, I need, I hope, I want. Start your kids off small, and they can be 2, 3, and 4. Show them pictures. Are you scared? What does scared look like to you? My grandson was talking and conversating big words at 2 or 3. And I guess that was because his my second husband was a scholar and he used big words. And I'm like, okay, you using big words, I'm gonna use big words. And so he has a major vocabulary. He's 14 now. We talked to him when he was 3 or 4, like he was 10. I talk to my dog like he's human. You have to communicate. You have to speak to your 2 and 3-year-old if they're in the 5th grade, as if they already know how they feel. Express to them how they feel so they know what their feeling is. You have a tummy ache? Tell me what aches. Tell me, how does it feel? Explain to me, how does it feel? What hurts? So they can start to express to you what feelings are. Get them books that have expressions and feelings in them. Read to them. And so they can read to you. Feelings and books. Engaging in learning the combination of playful rhymes, illustrations, and alphabet-based learning makes mindfulness concepts accessible and engaging for young children. I just said that. I love Dr. Seuss. Awesome learning for children. Don't just sit them in front of a tablet, guys. Engage your children. My grandson's 14. He still loves to read. When he comes home and he reads a book, he gives it to me. And we've been doing this since he was a young child. Get him books. Now he's like, Nini, I need another psychology book. He reads my books. When he comes home from school and he's read a book, let me have that book. Let me read that book. I'm still interested in reading the book he has when he comes home from school. And he's in high school now. Invest in your children. Buy them books. Read the books to them. It's called, I have that acronym from you. I believe I got this from Mayor Parker. I believe I got this from Mayor Parker or someone else, but it's called STOP. So if you're having these impulsive reactions or these impulsive behaviors, it says stop. Stand or sit still. Take a breath, open your mind, open your heart, and then proceed. So that pause that you had that I just did, that may be a pause for 5 to 10 minutes to gather yourself. Sometimes you might need a little bit more, depending on the level. You can say a cold red, a cold yellow. I don't know what else cold you want to put it at. A cold red is a high, a high level. A yellow is a yielding. I wouldn't say green because green means go. So however you want to code those, but I know cold red is a high. And then green means to proceed. So, but it's stop, stand, sit, take a breath, open your mind, meaning you're thinking about this thing. She said gray. She said gray. I'll take that. So cold red, cold yellow, cold gray. I'll take that. She said cold gray. So stop. It's stand, sit. Now, if you sitting, this means you pondering this thing, honey. Okay. Stand again. You might be pacing back and forth. When I have something that's impulsive, and I've learned, and I've only learned this through anger management. I said I went to anger management with the older gentleman. I fought a lot, and I did have a bail money fund. I'm not playing, y'all. I had a bail money fund. Ask my kids, ask my ex-husband. I had a bail money fund. I had a bail money fund. And I did anger management. Can't tell you the story of what happened that I had anger management because that case is closed. Thank you, Jesus. But I had went through anger management, and my last project was we went to a cemetery, and I was asked to dig a hole, and I dug the hole, and I was asked to get in the hole, and I was asked to lay there in the hole. And while I lay there in the hole with my eyes closed and picturing being there, the hole was cold and it was wet because, of course, it rained 2 days in a row and didn't smell good in the hole. And as I'm laying in the hole with my eyes closed, I feel dirt coming over my face, and as I'm laying there with the dirt being covered over my face, and now I'm picturing my kids, because I have kids, not two of them, and I'm asked to be, picture my kids coming to see me here in this hole. Do I want my life to end this way? From my impulsive reactions. To get a link to the kids' gift guide, just say Alexa, send more info. And clearly, that's not the life or path I wanted to take. Not with my children, not with me being just 22 years old. Not. I had good family. I knew my kids would be taken care of, but I wanted to see my kids grow up. I had hopes, I had dreams. So at that time, I had to change my life. Of course, I didn't change it then and there. I struggled, but I got the picture. I got the picture. So stand, sit still, take a breath, open your mind, contemplate this thing, think about it. Is the consequences of doing this and doing that, do they outweigh? Because it's going to be some legal thing. Something's going to happen either way. Does it outweigh that desire of the wrong? Because the impulsive reaction or behavior, it's going to be wrong. Whatever you're thinking, it's going to be wrong. No matter what that thing is. Open your heart, because what you're thinking about is about someone that's possibly trying to hurt you, is it or harm you. Disconnect yourself from this person and then proceed. Make that decision. Proceed. I'm going to post some other I think CBT stuff that I have on my in my email up here, especially the things for the kids, some mindfulness for the kids, and also some mindfulness for the 3-3 rule. I couldn't get that out. It was so difficult. The 3-3-3 rule. I'll post it up there. And then we all know about that the breathing exercise that I like that my girl does. What's her name? Sarah Jake Roberts. You love roses. Smell the roses. And everybody loves their, to blow the birthday candles out on their cake. So big inhale, smelling your roses, or the birthday candles out on your cake. Inhale, roses, birthday candles out on your cake. Do 3 of those. 3. And if you don't feel like your body is at ease and it's still tension in you, try 3 more. If you do another 3 of those and you still don't feel like your body's at ease, call someone. Call someone. You can call 988. Crisis counsel is always available. And just let them know I'm having a difficulty right now. Maybe I'm having a panic attack. Maybe I'm having some anxiety. Maybe I'm having a high level of stress. Can you help me through this? And that person may help you through the breathing exercises, or they may just help you through what you're going through. Okay, guys. We just said and talked about impulsive reactions and impulsive behaviors. Next week, I'm going to try to have someone on my show, someone really special. Let's see. My name is Kimble Evans. I am your Trap Therapist, and you have just been on the Trap Lounge. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you next Wednesday. God bless.